Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do for you. In honor of school starting back up, we about to go back to class. So I'm about to do what I do. The teacher's gonna teach. You better hear me good. I got a good lesson for you today. It may be a little long, but it's gonna be a good lesson. I'm gonna give you the heads up. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So you see where I'm going with this? Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, okay? But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And as always, to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about different philosophies. In every culture, in every generation had them, okay? Religiously, they call them dogma. Ancients called it 42 negative confessions of Maya. But it's all based on a philosophy. Where we at? Different philosophies, which are really, you come down to it, all the same. How would I know that? I mastered the Egyptian Maya philosophy, but I studied a whole lot of other ones, and I learned what they just said to be true. So let me try to break it down for you. But I got a bunch of information. Now you see this lane, two lines there. Those are just two chronological times for the Egyptian philosophy and the chronology of the Indian philosophy. Egyptian philosophy is what I'm proficient in. Indian philosophy is what I dip and dab in because I see the similarity. I'm like, it wasn't much different. Again, I even went to the Buddhists. Okay, we're gonna go with the Jain first. We're gonna do India, which is the first Indus Valley philosophy. I'm gonna take you to the Jain philosophy, started circa 1200 BCE. Then we're gonna go to one of my favorites, the Vedanta yoga philosophy. It started in 1000 BCE and is still being practiced to this day. The guy I deal with, the guru, Sadi Guru, he's pretty much of a Vedanta in the Buddhist concept. I got that for you. Then I'm gonna break down the Egyptians, Book of the Dead, 20 statements, and we're gonna compare it to the Vedas. They got, I think it's 20 for them. Now they do the eight thing, but I'm gonna give you their philosophy, and it's interesting how they say different, but they mean the same thing. And where they are, they don't care about what they're doing over there. This is what we do, and it all comes pretty much the same. So where they all get it from the same person, I don't know, but they all come back to the same thing. How about that? That's the constant. So first, let me break down the chronology of the Egyptian philosophy. This is interesting. And before I did it, I'm looking, I said, this is a lot of what I call fluff. Information that if you're a real right thinker, you would enjoy this. If you just want certain stuff, you might not enjoy this. So I'm just going to get you ready. So let's go. This is Class is in session. I'm about to teach. Let's go. Chronology of the Egyptian philosophy. We started with the sky god, the realm of light. Remember, before there was light, everything was in the noon, it was in the dark. What moves faster than light? Darkness. Little tidbit. So let there be light. The netter, which sits in the sky, that's not God that's in the sky. Put there by God. Get the concept? So understand that. And God, the original netter is androgynous. What's androgynous? Male and female. Again, he impregnated himself. And he represents being what? All these are the attributes of God. Not God, but these are attributes that we give God. So understand that. And everybody understands them. They just call God by a different name. Watch this. Attributes don't change. Okay? Now you got all encompassing, we call it the Nebercha. Okay, the absolute Amun hidden, Ra, seen, Pata, the physical form. We break it down for you. I can do that back and forth. But everybody had their concepts. Watch this. Now, this is the Egyptians. We did the absolute nameless being, later identified with as Ra or Haru in the Sphinx. Okay, Haru Marquette, Haru on the horizon. Okay, and we started the yoga of spirituality, Ra Buto. Buto was the first original serpent with wings, okay, female, but it's the spirit. It's called Buto. It goes back to the date, chronological time, 10,000 BCE to 600 ACE. So this concept stayed up until your boy came and knocked all the templars from Egypt out and took all the philosophies and doctrine and shut it down at 600 ACE. So we went from 10,000 to 600 ACE before they. Why? They wanted something else, obviously, but that's moving on. This is just the history. I ain't got time to go back and forth who I know. I'm just getting, I'm breaking down the time zone so you can get a better understanding. That's all. Hope you understand that. Pyramid. I'm pyramid down. Okay. Why do you think that is? It's symbolic. Moving on. Pyramid text. Egyptian book of coming forth by day. Y'all call the book of the dead. The 42 precepts of Maya. That's the philosophy that I practice. That's what I mastered. We go by the Asarian, Haru, God, and the Son of God, and the soul of all men and women. Asar represents the spirit that's in all. His reincarnated spirit is Haru, which is me and you, male and female, because it's androgynous. It becomes male or female. Now, this philosophy started back 10,000 BCE to 5,000 BCE. That was their philosophy. Simple. Coming on down. You hear the word Amen Ra Pata. Hidden, seen, physical. Again, this is the philosophy. Then the females to them, they have counterparts. You have Amet, Ra, and Sekmet. Amet, Amun, hidden. Amet means seen, visible. Ra, the sky, Ra'et means the Trinity, the opposite of Ra, and that's the female part, Ra'et. Then you got Pata, the physical part. Ra is seen, Ra is unseen. Again, Pata, the physical form, which is Haru, which is his wife counterpart, is Sekmet. The female line is okay. That's all the God and goddess comparison to break down for you in a philosophy that I've been doing for a long time. I understand it, maybe you don't, but that's the concept. In this philosophy, male and female, Trinity, complementary gods. They had female. If they had male, you had to have female. Simple as that. Everything came with a counterpart. And this started 5,500 BCE, and the philosophy concept lasted till 600 ACE. Shut them down. Okay. The gods of Heliopolis were Shu, air, Tufnut, moist air, Geb, earth, Nut, heaven, Asar, us, male, spirit in the flesh, Asep, his counterpart, represents intuitive knowledge and immortality, Set, which is your ego self, and Nephet, which is his opposite, which is mortality. The ego is mortal. It has edged God out. Set don't care about God. That's why he's called the ego. He represents edging God out of your personality. So you all about yourself. Sound familiar? Y'all call it the devil. You call it a whole bunch of stuff, but ancients had it figured out a long time ago. Moving on. So, and then you got Haru and Hathor, which I know it has Hathor, but it's Het Haru, the female aspect of you, your other half, male and female. Haru, house of Haru, lives in God lives in his creation, where his house is, his spirit is housed in his creation. That's all conceptually. And it's philosophically understood, if practiced and mastered, makes a lot of sense. And that philosophy started 55 BCE, ended again, 600 ACE. The gods of Memphis, excuse me, they had Ptah. Sekhmet was his wife. Ptah, remember the guy standing with the skull cap, the jet pillow? He represents the Memphite concept of God, self-created one. Uttered himself in existence from the thought, from the concept of the heart, thought in the mind, and he uttered himself into existence. That's the concept. Then his concept was the Agdo. The noon was the primeval waters. Opposite the noon was the Noonet, heaven, opposite, which we call Gab and Nu. They had noon and Noonet. Hue, which is boundlessness, and they had Huet, opposite, which boundaries. Kirk, which is darkness, and Kuket means light. Amun, hidden. Aminet, manifest. And this philosophy in Memphis lasted from, again, 55 BCE to 600 ACE. The gods of Hermopolis, the Greeks called it that, male and female principles always, okay, in creation. Existence, non-existence is one. Nurture, we call them the absolute, they call them the all, okay? But it's endless. Endlessness, meaning no end. Inertness means constant movement. Darkness, from darkness came what? Light. Tahuti, that's my boy. Thoughts, okay? And Horus. Again, this is a philosophy of Hermopolis, and they started again 55 BCE to 600 ACE. These are all philosophical concepts in different time periods in the same area. Different gods, different concepts, but they're all pretty much the same thing. The Osirian resurrection, one of the favorites. The yoga mixed with religion. Now you got wisdom and philosophy going together with the storytelling, mythological, and allegorical stories to get you what? Wisdom, so you would know thyself. 4500 BCE to a year 600 ACE. The goddess principle, female. We was ran by the matriarchal society until the Greeks came in, and nobody had a problem with that. Another lesson. But the goddess principles, you got Aset, Hathor, you got Neith, I gave you them, you got Moot, you got Sekhmet, and you can't forget Buto, the original serpent with wings. Another lesson. But these are all philosophical concepts that our ancients practice. And we have, they're called four main principles of the Egyptian concept of God, human beings, and creation. And they were, number one, the androgynous nature containing male and female. God was male and female, androgynous. Now you got Haru, Netter, is the what? The universal spirit, which originally was Buto, that manifests where in every period of Egyptian religion, and it represents the stimulate reality. Okay, excuse me, ultimate. The word's a little tight here. The ultimate reality behind what? All manifestation of creation, which are simply an interplay between complementary opposites and principles, often described in names and named as male as female deities. Again, can't have one without the other. They understood that. And the same great goddess, again, goddess principle, is represented in what? Different forms of or aspects. 3, men and women are personifications of God. God in the flesh, manifest in the flesh. That's what human beings are. That's who we are. Spiritual beings having a human experience. Once you feel your human obligation of becoming conscious of yourself, aka know thyself, you can go back to the maker conceptually. It makes sense. Moving on. That's what I want to know. I don't care what your philosophy is. If it makes sense, I gotta respect it. If it don't make sense, I'm not gonna respect it or follow it. Moving on. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. You have a right to feel and think what you want. I do the same thing. So we are man and women are a personification, manifestation of God, spirit, and matter, aka the Sphinx, made flesh. The two principles which together make up all things. God and creation are one. Everything comes from the. They knew that. Moving on. That from earliest times, 10,000 BCE, to what? To the downfall of Egypt, 600 ACE. That's a long time for a philosophy to be around. And if it's around that long, it was working. Why would you stop it? Just something to think about. Moving on. The same theme is found where? Throughout the Egyptian philosophy. Again, all of the major cosmogonies, and deities come from the same origin, set down in the pyramid text. That's the reason why I rock the pyramids and the eye. Okay, it's all symbolic and it's all understanding certain perspectives and philosophies that you can manifest and use and live with it. I ain't claiming no religion. No. I just claim to be a spiritual being with knowledge of self. Call me what you want. Some people call me Sage. Other people call me the other name. All right, so let me get this lesson. I see my time. I got that part. Next lesson would be the chronology of Indian philosophy. So let me get it right quick. We're going to do the India yoga in India. Why? Because in the earlier Indian philosophy, the earliest known civilization of India, which is the Indus Valley culture, or they call them the Dravidians, developed the first the first advanced philosophical system in India. They practice philosophical concepts in India, not religious beliefs and work around. No, they practice a philosophy. They're more humble, more understanding. Why? They get a better concept than walking around a bunch of beliefs and superstitions. That's why. And, just as in Egypt, Dravidians' philosophy and the mythology centered around what? Male and female fertility, offspring, and sexuality. We didn't have a gender problem. The root of yoga systems, again, yoga systems is philosophies, not beliefs, which relate to what? The sublimation of your sexual energy. They call it the Kundalini. Our young generation now, we knew about abstinence, okay, going without sex, refraining from having sex, meaning don't touch yourself, no sexual release, no, learn how to generate that. The Egyptians taught sexual retention, where what? Semen retention. That life giver, if you waste it, you take a nice off your years. Another philosophy, but that's the concept. So they had a very understanding of sexuality and semen retention. Thus, watch this, and this is evident how? By the Dravidian stalls of vegetation gods and goddesses. They always show Asar as green vegetation, okay, with plants, and they showed the women, females, goddesses, with what? With plants growing out of their wombs. Yeah. Now you look at that thing. But the woman's womb, the female womb, was sacred. Its precepts developed into what? The Tantra yoga philosophy, different sexual. I tell you about that. I don't do that. I don't practice that, but that's all the sexual, positions, Kama Sutras, how to relieve yourself, how to extend your sexual pleasure, all that good stuff. That's what your thing like to step out. Now I'm gonna talk about the Jain philosophy right next after you do this. But you got the Hindus, you got the Buddhists. I'm gonna talk about them in the Vedanta philosophical systems, and they all are similar. in most respects to the Egyptian mythology of who? Asar, the Lord of the perfect black and encephalic vegetation god. You see him as men. He got a big, hard penis. And that meant he had control over it. Not that he went around sticking it in anything. That showed sexual sublimation. He had control over his regenerative process. That's what it was. Philosophy about that was. And it's the vegetation god. He always was green. And the sacred cow, which is the 7 cows that are Science, that's Hathor, the sacred cow. His wife is who? Set, the goddess of who? Fertility and sexuality. That's another lesson, but that's the Indian philosophy out of Indus Valley. Now let's talk about Jain philosophy. I got one more I can get this for them. Before I go into the Vedanta, I'm gonna do the chronology of India. But Jain philosophy out of India started 1200 BCE. Okay, we done come down a whole long way from 10,000 to 12. Okay, understand that. So these are all new concepts, supposedly. Let's talk about it. But the Jain philosophy, it says there's 5 of them. The qualities of matter. The universe is a living organism, okay, imperceptible in its true essence. We don't know where it begins. Okay, again, they had that part right. Moving on. Mask, I like this right here. Mask of personality. What is that? Your personality of a human being is only a mask which is covering the true being which lies within the person. The body is the mask. The Latin word persona denotes a mask which is worn by what? Our soul. Astral body, okay? The nervous system that runs through the physical body that makes it work, that's the next body. That's inside the physical body. And the mass is the physical body. And you must separate what? From our true self. Per means through, and sana means sound. Thus, person literally means through sound, referring to the sound, the vibrations of the voice of God. We speak words of power. We speak things into existence. Okay, that's the concept. Okay, now let's talk about the cosmic man, the materialized spirit, which is us. Again, in the first man, we call that Osiris, Asar, right? Spirit in physical form. The spirit is what? Eternal. So when the physical body died, his spirit lives on in the afterlife. But he came back one time to create what? His offspring, which is us, to continue on in the spiritual, physical world with the spirit that's in him from him. Conceptually, again, there's a philosophy, and theirs is that's what happened. And what's this? Materialized spirit is the first man. The spirit is eternal. The universe is spirit, meaning also internal, within and without. So therefore, it has no beginning and will have no end. Okay, they had that understanding. Remember, a philosophy is explaining something that's hard to explain. You can simplify it, synopsize it, break it down, so hopefully they can understand it. Esoteric teaching does just that. That's what the hidden meaning, the true meaning of something. That's what I try to do with my teachings. That's why I tell you I teach esoteric knowledge, not the basic stuff. No, they can do that anyway. But now let's talk about the doctrine right quick. Doctrine of bondage. The spirit in humans is held by, you ready? Karma. That's the law of causation. You reap what you sow. What you put out, what you get back. That's a universal law for everybody. Nobody is exempt. Okay? You reap what you sow. What you do comes back to you. Again, this is a philosophy trying to teach you how to what? Conduct and act yourself. Why? Whatever you do in the dark will be brought to light. All that's philosophy that holds true. Why? If you ever done something in the dark and had exposed, that's why. We in a new age, age of Aquarius, right now. Things that was spooky and scary and secret, not no more. Why? Lights been turned on. Okay, we in information age. If you got hidden information, it's no longer hidden. Moving on. That's the concept. It's ancient. It's not new. We just living through it right now. So understand it means you can deal with it a little bit better. I do. I'm comfortable understanding how things go and why they go the way they go. Simple. Moving on. With knowledge, you can do that. You reap what you sow. Now, every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. We call it IRE. Your IRE is what you do and effect what comes back to you. Good deeds, blessings. Sneaky, deceitful things, karma. Everything happens what? According to this law. Chance is what? Or luck is a name for a law not recognized. So you, when it happens, oh, it must be my lucky day. No, synchronicity means the universe is in your favor. When what? You live and do it right. When you walking like that, things just gonna happen your way. Follow the yellow brick road. Why? The road is paid for those who live in righteous and doing virtuous things on a daily basis. Their life is paved down the golden road. Not for real gold. No, just good things. Understand that it's all symbolic and conceptualized. It's all mental. The physical part is what you bring to it when you manifest it for yourself. I see the clock. I'm about to wrap it up. Now, let's go with the doctrine of release. What is release? Release is attainment of purity, which is what? Self-detachment from worldly things, from the body and the world. Psychological. Don't depend on the physical body, senses, aka your emotions, for existence, leading to enlightenment, because they won't. If you don't have control over your ego self, roller coaster ride. When you gain self mastery, that means get control over your emotions. Don't let somebody push the button. Well, she pissed me off. He said that. No, no, no. Self mastery is rearrange them buttons so nobody knows the combination to get your goat, so to speak, to get you going. Most people know how to get people started. They know how you are. So when you are master yourself, that goes away. Why? They can't figure you out. Those are people that people worry about. What? I can't figure him out. I can't get. Yeah, he's not going to acquiesce to what you want him to do. Be yourself. Conduct yourself. Acquiesce yourself to situations, and you'll be just fine. Let me wrap this up again. Doctrine of release. When you obtain that knowledge of self, don't depend on your body or the physical or your emotions to control the physical body. When somebody say something to you good, I get comments on my page. I like the good ones, but guess what? Every now and then they're gonna slip one in and make you say this. How you had that? Oh yeah. But that's when you got to find that place where you can, okay. Don't get too excited because it sound good, but don't get too angry and upset because it don't sound good. That's all. That's self-mastery. That's the whole purpose of having a philosophy, to keep you grounded, to be your best self, no matter what the situation is. I'm gonna end the lesson right now because I got some more for you. So I'm gonna start out fresh with the chronology of the Indian philosophy, and we're gonna go right on into the Vedanta philosophy. So, right thinkers, appreciate you. In closing, may you all live to be 100, and me 100 minus a day. So I know right thinkers like you have passed away. Oh, we're in school now. Hope you enjoy the lesson.